Hello everybody. So in this screencast we're going to look at how can you update the data that's being displayed. So let's say for example you have a list of users, you want to for example add another user to the list, right? So now there are two ways of doing that, or you want to remove a user from the list, or you want to order the list in a different order and so on. So basically you want to update how the data is being, or the data in the list, and thus it will update how it's being presented. Okay, so the data is stored here in the list of users, right? And you are passing this data to the adapter. So one way of doing this, let's say I'd like to add, or let's say I would like to remove a user, okay? So now when I click on a user, I would like to remove that user. So let's say for example here, when you click on a user, so let's run this. Basically when you click on a user, right, I want to remove it. So basically, if I want to remove that user, when you click on it, I need to get that user, right? So I'll say user equals users. I can do that, users of dot get, and then the index is the position of the user. So now here I have the user. And then what I could do, I could say users dot remove user. Okay. So now this removes the user that you would like, that you clicked on, removes the user from the users array, right? But then you have to tell the adapter, notify the adapter that the data has changed. So now what happens, just to retrace a little bit what's going on, is that when you created the adapter, you passed it the data. The adapter does not keep a copy of the data. It has a reference to the array list. Okay, so basically now it has a reference to the array list of data, or the list of data, right? And then that's why when we are removing the user, we are removing the user from the array list. No, you see, we are removing it from the array list. And then we are telling the adapter, hey adapter, the data has changed. Okay, so now when you run it, so that the adapter can re-render the list. So now let's say I will click on Bob Smith. Okay, I clicked on Bob Smith disappeared. I click on Eve Green disappeared. I clicked on Tom Green, and so on. So all the users are being removed. Now, what also we could do is, instead of removing it from the list of users, I could also remove it from the adapter. I could tell the adapter dot remove user. So the adapter also has a remove function, and that remove function actually removes it from the users. Okay. Now let me put a breakpoint to show you that, and I will debug. Okay. Now I am doing the remove on the adapter, not on the users, right? But just to show you, it's the same thing. So basically, if let's say I'll put a breakpoint before this, right? So basically, before I remove, I'll put a breakpoint. Okay, so I clicked on Bob Smith and it stops here. Okay, so it didn't execute this line yet. Now I will, if you look at the users, this is the user. If you look at the users, it's of size 5, right? Now when I execute this line, now what's the users? So if you look here, this, and then what's the users? Now its size is 4. So basically when you remove using the adapter, or it also removes from the list, because it's just a reference of the list. Okay. So basically you could see how we could update the adapter. Similarly, you can add an object in the list, or an add-on object using the adapter, and that also and then you need to also remember to call this function, which is notify that the data has changed. Notify data set changed, meaning that it will tell the adapter to redraw the list. Okay, to re-render that list. Now something else also we could do is, let's say we'd like to sort the array, to change how the array is sorted. Okay, so basically let's say we'd like to sort the array. Okay, so let's say every time we click on a user, so right now it's just deleting these users, right? So let's say I can have a button here. When you click on it, it sorts ascending, and you click on it, it sorts descending. I can do all of that stuff, right? But let's say when we click on any of the users, it sorts in ascending order. Next time it sorts in descending order. Straightforward. So basically when we come here, so what I could do is I say collections dot sort, right? Collection dot sort, and then I will provide a comparator, right? And that comparator is the list that I would like to sort, which is the list of users, right? new comparator, okay, and then basically we'll sort them, say, by the name, right? So we'll say, for example, user one, which is here is user one is, let's say, U, and user two is V, okay. So user one dot compare dot name dot compare to v dot name dot v dot name. Okay, so basically we're just returning this. Now I'd like it to swap, so basically I'll have some kind of a flag here, or maybe order type, and I'll make it -1 to start with, and then basically I'll just say it is the order type times this. So basically the first time it's -1, and then I'll say order type equals order type times -1, right? Or I'll do -1 times this, so that the minus sign goes away without having a, okay, here it is. So why it's not happy, probably I have to cast, okay, we do, oh, it's before the return, so let's do it here. Order type equal to order type times -1. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is that I'm swapping the order, right? So basically the first time is going to be ascending, then descending, and so on. So basically that's what I'm doing. And so this actually is an in place sort for the users array, and all I need to do is tell the array, the adapter dot notify data has changed. So I'm sorting them by the name. Okay, so now when we run it, now if I click, say, for the first time, here it is, I clicked, now it's sorting them in some order, right? And it seems to be some order. I really and then when you click on it again, it's sorting them in another order. Okay, I don't know why the Bob Smith is higher than Alice Brown. That's pretty weird. But anyhow, you could see that something is happening when I'm doing that, right? Oh, this is happening every time you click, so we shouldn't have this like this. We should have it outside here. So it should not be in the comparator, right? So now it's going to work. So run it again. So the first time you click, see here it's sorting in ascending order. You click again, it's sorting in descending order. Ascending, descending. And the example that I'm trying to show here is that you can manipulate how the list is being displayed by manipulating the order of the data. Okay, so the order of the data is how this data is going to be displayed. So the first time you run it, the first item is Bob Smith. Why? Because this is the first item in the list, and then the second item is Alice Brown, and so on. Now when you click, this is just an example. When you click, it sorts. So the list was sorted, and then we called notify data has changed. If you don't call notify data has changed, nothing is going to happen. The adapter will not know anything about this. See, even though the data is changing, right? The order of the data is changing, the adapter needs to be notified that this data has changed so that it can redraw the list, right? So now we run it again, and when you click, you see that it's resorting and so on, right? So then I have demoed how you could order, how you could add, how you could remove. I could also add. So basically, let's say every time you do this, I would like to add. Here it is. So I could add another user, for example. So I'm adding a simple user, just Eve Green. It's going to keep on adding Eve Greens. So when you run it, I need to notify the adapter. So adapter.notify data has changed. So I add, here it is. All right, here we are. And I'm clicking, it's adding Eve Greens. I can even add one very similar to the one that I clicked on. Right? So for example, same story. So basically you're just adding, I could get the user equal users, or I could say adapter.get item at position. So it gets you the user. Now I could just add that user here. Yeah, easy. So basically the user that you click on is going to be added to the list. And then we refresh that list. All right, so when I click on Bob is being added, Alice is being added, Green is being added, and so on. You could see I'm just adding to the list. But anyway, the takeaway here is that you can manipulate the list, but then you need to tell the adapter that the data has changed. All right, please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.